my life, that's for my 43 years that I've been doing this, my prayer, my heartfelt prayer is be a blessing. And sometimes you can be a blessing just by your presence for someone, just caring for them and listening. Sometimes you can be that by offering a solution. Sometimes you can be that by just being an example of what's possible.
Yes.
There's so many ways, but sometimes it's just your love that's a blessing, right?
Yes, or it can be as simple as, I mean, my father was a blessing to me the other day,
Yes.
just with his presence.
And
you
you
know?
to him.
Yeah, but in that exchange, I've had, different level of conversations on both sides of where we live, our neighbors. I've just bumped into them because we're walking. And it's just been, I'm
We're
like,
here.
wow, beautiful people in our life that was so busy. I said hello to them, but I've actually never really had such a meaningful conversation. And, to be a blessing is also just our state of being. And, if you're in a state where you're feeling, you're in a different stage and you're in that, like Tony talked about, the shock or the anger or the sadness stage, still, just know that waves don't last forever, and those waves come in and they go out. And, it's beautiful to bring our state of being to our loved ones, never mind to life, so we can touch life deeper. And, when we let go and accept the reality of what is, all of a sudden in one moment you might have been crying and you can actually laugh at the same thing. We've experienced that. Like, we've experienced the loss and the pain of that and been in that, and then we've laughed till we've had tears in the same breath about the same topic. It's healing to be able to just allow yourself to be what's true for yourself in the moment and let that wave to pass and be surprised what comes next. And the gift to just know that our state of being affects those that we love and affects life around us. And it's just a beautiful notion is simply just to be present for each other.
And so the second step, be a blessing, really is to realize there's always somebody who's got it more difficult than you have, no matter how much you're suffering. When I was, sleeping in my old Volkswagen and trying to survive, the things that would break me out of it is when I get out and I just see somebody who needed something and I could do something. I didn't have money, but I could help them. I could go move the shopping cart. I could help them across the street. And just stupid little things that are not stupid. They're acts of kindness, and acts of kindness, unfortunately, in our current culture that's been so polarized, we're so judging other people by whether they believe what we believe. I mean, that's not how life is. Everybody believes different things at different stages, and part of our unification is to have some common values. And kindness and love and growth and contribution are the things that make human beings most fulfilled. Like I said, it's not what you get, it's who you become. So doing something for somebody else, like you can go to a homeless shelter and work for an hour with your kids, and your kids will no longer be worried about other things. They could be seeing other people and seeing the need. When we're called, we get out of ourselves. Suffering is always about ourselves. I remember one saying, no, it's not about me. I'm worried about my kids. They're not doing well in school. And I said, man, with all due respect, if you were just worried about your kids in school, you'd be working on that. Your upset is because you feel you failed your kids, and you haven't. You gotta be kinder to yourself. But what you need to do is find something to help. So, we've been feeding people, as most of you know, since I was 17, because I got fed when I was 11. But we also give people this little book called Notes from a Friend. And I remember I was in San Diego not long ago, and we were doing this feeding program in the morning, and then we came back for a second run with some more food, and we gave out this little book, and I wrote it. It's this little tiny, little cartoon book that gives people some skills. So it's not just give them a fish, teach them to fish. And I'll never forget this young man, his early 20s, and he looked so broken up and everything else. And he came back, and when I came back, a huge smile on his face, and he was helping us pass out the food. And it turned out he took the food we gave him, this giant basket, and he divided it amongst 5 people, himself and 4 other people, because he read this little book and realized the secret to living is giving. And you just saw this joy and this energy in him. His circumstances hadn't changed, but his internal experience had changed. You gotta remember, there's 2 worlds to master, the external world and the internal world, and this is the one you gotta master first. The outside world can be perfect and you can be miserable. The outside world can be challenging and you can be euphoric. And I'm not saying be euphoric, I'm just saying find the meaning that will move you to the next level. So who can you serve, what can you give? Something simple, presence, time, energy, whatever you got, you will find yourself freed. And then lastly, if you find the blessings, if you be a blessing, you will be blessed. And you will not only be blessed, but you'll feel blessed. You'll feel the awe, in the little things like Bonnie Pro was saying, Sage was saying. You'll feel the joy that comes from just being present with your life. There's so much we're missing. We're going so fast. So perhaps this can be just a reset for you. And if you do it now, maybe our second or maybe our third, we're gonna do 3 of these little fireside chats, and you can see they're just flowing, us discussing with you. Hope it's helpful to you. But I think our third one, we're gonna talk about how to create 2021 to be your best year ever, because to me, the greatest story of mankind is the comeback story. somebody who's knocked to their knees. Everybody gets knocked to knees, but they come back not just to where they were, but better than they were. That's what we can do. So let's start with this little bit of homework if you're willing to do it. Don't wait. Don't wait for everything to change. Change internally before everything changes on the outside, and you'll already be free. So your homework's simple. Find the blessings. Make a list, 5, 10, 15 amazing insights or feelings or things that can be precious, that can make this special if we focus on it, and share it with some people and find out what's been a blessing for them. And then be a blessing. How can you serve? What could you do? Something simple in the midst of all your busyness. And then enjoy being blessed, because we all are if we're living at this time in human history. As difficult as it may be, we're creating technology helping blind people to see. We're creating a world where literally you can access any information you want at your fingertips. All we need to bring to it is more gratitude, more love, and more kindness. I always say that if you really want to be free, give up your expectations and replace them with your appreciation. Because expectations make upset because they don't always get fulfilled by people, by the world. But when we appreciate, we're free. So that's our little fireside conversation. I don't know if it was helpful for you. I hope it was. It's from our hearts to yours. We just feel for you. We know that so many of us have gone through so much pain, and some still are. But the end is in sight. When I say the end, I mean the beginning. That's what it really is. So thank you for allowing us to pop into your home or wherever you are in the world. And we send you love and blessings.
It's been beautiful to be with you today. God bless you just coming into this beautiful sacred time, coming into your holiday and our holiday season. We look forward to being with you next time, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.
Hey everyone, wasn't that message just beautiful? You know, every time Tony and Sage do this fireside chat in the holiday season, I always feel so grateful that they share their time with us from their home and walk through their personal distinctions on whatever's going on in the world. And this year, it just feels so fitting. It's been a little crazy, and you know, we can all relate to this, so many different emotions, these stages of grief that Tony's talking about. And I'm wondering for you, what's the one that felt the most true? Was it anger, or was it sadness, or was it acceptance, or were you creating? You know, a lot of us have had that frustration at the external limitations. You know, in this community, we can relate. A lot of us are doers, or we want to make things happen. So not physically being able to go out into the world and make an impact, just like Tony not being able to have live events, that gets frustrating, like Tony was frustrated. And then Tony does that thing, right, where he says the perfect thing at the exact right moment. And he reminded us today of a message. He said that there are two worlds that we need to master. The external, do you remember it? And the internal. Your outside world can be perfect, and you can still be miserable. You know people like this. You hang out with them, you date them, you're married to them.